my name is Candice Millard, and I'm a writer. And I wanted to share with you today one of my very favorite books. It's a book that I have loved since childhood. I grew up in a little town in Ohio, and there wasn't a lot to do, but one of the things my family and I loved to do was to walk to the library every week, and we would spend just hours looking through the books and picking out a favorite book. And one day when I was maybe 10 years old, 10, 11 years old, I walked into the library and there was this rack standing in front of me. And it was a little revolving vertical rack. And on top was a sign that said free. And all these books were free. And I was really excited. And I asked my mom if I could pick one out. And she said, absolutely. But these weren't children's books. These were adult books. I didn't know any of them. And I turned and turned it, searching for a book, until I finally found one, and it was called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And again, I was just this kid from this little town. I had never heard of Maya Angelou. I had never heard of this book. I just liked the title and the cover. So I plucked it out and I brought it home. And that book was hugely important to me because before then I had always thought of books as either they teach you something or they entertain you. But I had never experienced literature. I'd never experienced books that can be incredibly moving, that can take you somewhere that you have never seen or even imagined, and that are beautifully written. And this book is all of these things. And I still have my same copy, my original copy of I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings that I've had since childhood. And I'm going to read you a passage from that. The wind blew over the roof and ruffled the shingles. It whistled sharp under the closed door. The chimney made fearful sounds of protest as it was invaded by the urgent gusts. A mile away, old Kansas City Kate, the train much admired but too important to stop in Stamps, crashed through the middle of town, blew its woo-wee warnings, and continued to an unknown, glamorous destination without looking back. There was going to be a storm, and it was a perfect night for reading Jane Eyre. Bailey had finished his chores and was already behind the stove with Mark Twain. It was my turn to close the store, and my book, half read, lay on the candy counter. Since the weather was going to be bad, I was sure Uncle Willie would agree. In fact, encouraged me to close early, save electricity, and join the family in Mama's bedroom, which functioned as our sitting room. Few people would be out in weather that threatened a tornado, for though the wind blew, the sky was as clear and still as a summer morning. Mama agreed that I might as well close, and I went out on the porch, closed the shutters, flipped the wooden bar over the door, and turned off the light. Pots rattled in the kitchen where Mama was frying corn cakes to go with vegetable soup for supper. And the homey sounds and scents cushioned me as I read of Jane Eyre in the cold English mansion of a colder English gentleman. Uncle Willie was engrossed in the almanac, his nightly reading, and my brother was far away on a raft in the Mississippi. I was the first to hear the rattle on the back door, a rattle and knock and rattle. But suspecting that it might have been the mad wife in the tower, I didn't credit it. Then Uncle Willie heard it and summoned Bailey back from Huck Finn to unlatch the bolt. Through the open door, the moonshine fell into the room in a cold radiance to rival our meager lamplight. We all waited, I with a dread expectancy, for no human being was there. The wind alone came in, struggling with the weak flame in the coal oil lamp, pushing and bunting about the family warmth of our pot-bellied stove. Uncle Willie thought it must have been the storm and told Bailey to close the door. But just before he secured the raw wooden slab, a voice drifted through the crack. It wheezed, Sister Henderson? Brother Willie? Bailey nearly closed the door again, but Uncle Willie asked, who is it? And Mr. George Taylor's pinched brown face swam out of the gray and into view. He assured himself that we hadn't gone to bed and was welcomed in. When Mama saw him, she invited him to stay for supper and told me to stick some sweet potatoes in the ashes to stretch the evening meal. Thank you so much for letting me read this to you, one of my very favorite books. And I hope to see you on September 12th at Library Let's Loose. Thank you very much.
Johnson County Library is where people explore, enjoy, and connect with ideas and materials that enrich our lives. Support the library and join us at Library Let's Loose Virtual Edition on September 12th. Learn more at libraryletsloose.org.